Hi Pinewood families, this is Mr. Nitz, and this video is for Monday, April 27th. Last week, it was great to see so many of you online and on Schoology and doing your classwork and submitting it. So I had great numbers with Schoology participation and had decent numbers with homework completion. I know that on Saturday I sent out a text message recognizing the people that had turned in all 3 assignments for the week. I know that there's a few of you who have finished them since then, and a couple of you who may even finish them today. Tried to help a few people out who are having difficulties with login. So hopefully this week, those numbers that were good will even get better. A few quick notes on turning that assignment in. I know that there are a few of you who are working on paper packets. So remember that those paper packets will be traded on Monday, May 4th. So not Monday, the April 27th, which is tomorrow actually, but 1 week after that. You'll be able to turn in any completed work and pick up your next 2 weeks worth of work. For those of you turning in assignments online, the easiest way to do that is on math assignments to just take a picture and submit it via Schoology. You can use a text box to type out your answers, or you can just take a picture with your phone or tablet and submit it that way. For Raz kids, once you log in, roll to the bottom of the screen and you'll see some purplish squares with the assignments in there. Make sure you're doing the right assignment. Last week we had a few people who did the wrong assignment or just clicked on the wrong thing. Pay attention to the Schoology website, pay attention to YouTube videos, make sure you're doing the right assignment. Social Studies Weekly is to take the quiz every Friday. A few quick notes about those homework assignments. Don't get ahead of yourself. There's a few people who took the social studies quiz on Monday right after they read the newspaper for the first time, or they tried to do Gamel's realization, that activity, without all of the practice for the week. We've paced it out so that all week long you're practicing, you're trying, you're learning, so that on the end of the week you'll be able to do your best work and show us what you know. Most weeks the math assignment that's collected will be on Thursday, a summative assignment from your practice for the week, followed by a Friday Prodigy Day. And then on social studies and reading work, those will both be on Friday after a lot of good work that you've practiced throughout the week. So please make sure, don't try to finish it all on Monday. I know it's tempting to want to get a bunch of it done just so that you can relax at the end of the week, but pace yourself. Do a little bit each day and make sure that you do the right assignment on the right day. Today in math, you're going to be doing some more multiplication of fractions by either fractions by fractions, fractions by whole numbers. And I want to teach you a method called the Pre Simplified Method. Now, most of you know how to simplify fractions using the division rule. Something like 4/8. We know to check for a number that could be divided into 4 and divided into 8. And I could use 2, and I could also use 4. We always choose the largest one to make life easier and only have to simplify once. So 4/8 would simplify to 1/2. But sometimes when you're dealing with larger numbers, it becomes a little bit more difficult to simplify, especially when you're multiplying 2 fractions. I'm going to show you guys a way to simplify fractions even before you multiply them and get your answer. It's a shortcut, and it's just nicknamed the Pre Simplified Method because you simplify pre or before you even do the multiplying. I want you to look at this problem right here. 6/7 times 14/15. Now, if you multiply that out, you get a giant answer. 84 over 105. Now, not only do I know the factors of 84 and 105 off the top of my head, I think I know a few numbers that could divide into them. For example, 84 is even and 105 ends in 5, but I'm still going to have a difficult time trying to find the simplification of 84 over 105. So we want to make sure that we don't only check the top and bottom numbers, like 84 over 105, or even 6 and 7, or 14 and 15, but we can check the diagonals. And what I mean by the diagonals is that when you look at this problem right here, 6/7 times 14/15. When I look diagonally, I notice 14 and 7 are connected diagonally, and 6 and 15 are diagonally connected. Now, immediately when I see 14 and 7, I think that I can see both of those two numbers are divisible by 7. And in fact, in the yellow highlighter, you can see that I connected 14 or 7, and I divided them by 7. 14 became 2, and 7 became 1. And then when I look at 6 and 15 and connect the two of them, it's not as obvious at first, but then I recognize they can be divided by 3. 6 divided by 3 in yellow there is 2. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So now at the top in little pencil there, you can see I've written 2 times 2. And on the bottom, I have 1 times 5. So that's an easier way to multiply the numerators and denominators. 2 times 2 is 4. You can see it there in the numerator of yellow. And 1 times 5 is 5. You can see it there in the denominator in yellow. So 4/5 was my final answer. Now, trying to figure out the factors and dividing those factors for 84 and 105, that would have been a huge pain. But I think with 14 and 7 and 6 and 15, that was a little easier to do. This method is called Pre Simplifying and can help you solve how to simplify larger numbers without having to do it at the end. At the end of today's math assignment, they're going to ask you to try that pre-simplifying method. If you're confused today, don't worry. Just do it the normal way, but please check to make sure that you simplified your answers. Most of the problems, the 6 on today's assignment, I believe either 4 or 5 of them need to be simplified. We always check to make sure that we simplify our answers for math. So, as I talked about, today's math assignment is page 237. Make sure that you answer those multiplication of fraction problems. And I'm going to start something new this week. Sometime in the afternoon or evening, I'm going to post on Schoology the answers to the math assignment. So I've already figured them all out and showed you how to find the rectangular models of how those fractions look visually. And so you'll be able to look back at it and check your work to make sure that you're on target. Those answers will be posted by either the middle of the afternoon or early evening each day. This week in reading, you're going to be starting a longer story. Instead of doing a 1-page read every day, you're going to be reading a little bit longer story called Noni and the Band Book. And so that will take you a little bit longer to read. It won't be as long as a regular chapter book, but it'll be longer than just a 1-page read. In order to help you be successful in reading that book, today is going to be a vocabulary day. You're going to be previewing some vocabulary words and doing a Quizlet. If you've never done Quizlet before, it's basically online flashcards, teaching you the important words in the text that you'll need to know and their definitions. Practice today with the Quizlet online before you even read the story. In fact, today, don't even read the story. Practice the vocabulary words, and you'll be reading the Noni story tomorrow. In social studies, you're going to be moving on to the next issue of the newspaper and beginning to read issue 14. This issue will have a lot of the really big events of the Revolutionary War. Make sure that you're following closely. Later this week, I'll add in a few Liberties Kids episodes that I believe most of you haven't seen yet. Remember, don't take the test yet. Wait until Friday to take the test. Most of the people who took it earlier in the week ended up failing the test, and a few of you have asked for a retest, and I've given that option for a retest. But please wait until Friday. You'll know the vocabulary words. You'll have read through it twice, once on Monday and once on Thursday. A lot of good work was done last week, and I was very proud to see what was turned in, as well as just who was online checking the work. Make sure that you are on Schoology this week. Even those of you who are using a paper packet, it's going to be helpful to watch the video links and the other things that are only available online. I know that some of you maybe only have a phone or have to borrow someone's device that you can only have for a little bit each day. The videos are usually very short, anywhere between 1 and 10 minutes long. Watch them, do the work on paper or however you're going to, and submit it. Remember, all work is going to be submitted at the end of the week. I should start getting those assignments on Thursday and Friday to show that you're with it, that you know what you need to do and you know when it needs to be done. I want you guys to have a great week. If you're watching this early on Sunday afternoon or evening, relax today. If you have one assignment that you didn't finish last week and you have a chance today to catch up. Do your work. It is important. If you had trouble this week and you got really behind, I would rather you just pick one of those 3 assignments and do it today and catch up. Then focus on the work that's for this week. You can do this. I want everybody to know that Mr. Knits believes in you, and I know that you can do great work because I've been seeing you do it all year. Have a great week, and I'll see you tomorrow. I know that this week there were some problems with the Schoology conferencing app, and we didn't get a lot of answers over the weekend, but I'm going to check to see if it's up and running tomorrow. If it's not, I'm probably going to plan to do some Zooms this week, which are not as great of a format as the Schoology conference app. Hopefully it'll be ready to go by noon tomorrow. If the conference app is not up in Schoology tomorrow, then either tomorrow, if I can, I'll get a Zoom set up for noon. Otherwise, we'll plan on meeting on Tuesday on the Zoom app if the conference app is still not replaced and fixed. Thanks, and have a great day.